This is a summary of Chapter 13 in our Strategies for Successful Writing book. Below, I posted what page I'm on corresponding to where I'm at in the video, so it'll be easy to follow along. What did you think of that movie? Great! What do you mean, great? I thought the acting was wooden and the storyline was completely unbelievable. That's exactly what I'd expect from you. You wouldn't know a good movie if it walked right up and bit you. Oh yeah? What makes you think you're such a great argument or quarrel? Many people would ask, what's the difference? To them, the two terms mean the same thing. In writing, however, argument stands for something quite different. A paper, grounded on logic, structure, evidence that attempts to convince the reader to accept an opinion, take an action, or do both. There are three appeals you can use to win an argument. The most successful arguments rest on the firm foundation of solid logical support. In addition, many arguments include emotion because it can play an important role in swaying reader opinion. Furthermore, writers can make ethical appeals by projecting favorable images of themselves since readers form conclusion based on their judgments of their writing. In society, and certainly in professional circles, you are usually to your conclusion on the basis of good reason and appropriate evidence. Reasons are the key points, or general ideas, you'll use to defend your conclusion. Some examples are established truths, facts that no one can dispute, opinions of authorities. An authority is a recognized expert in the field. Authoritative opinions play a powerful role in winning readers over to your side. Primary source information, documents or other materials produced by individuals directly involved with the issue or conclusion. Statistical findings, statistics that show how much, how often, or also can help your argument. And lastly, personal experience. Sometimes personal experience can deliver an argumentative message more forceful than any other kind of evidence. An argument then consists of a conclusion you want to support, your reasons for that conclusion, and the evidence that support your reasons. But how are reasons and evidence fitted together? Rational appeal includes three reasoning strategies: induction, deduction, and analogy. Induction is when an argument occurs when a general claim is supported by specific evidence, whether direct observation, statistical data, or scientific studies. Deduction, the process of argumentation that demonstrates how a specific conclusion follows logical from some initial premise about which people might agree. And analogy. An analogy compares two unlike situations or things. Arguers often use analogies to contend that because two items share one or more likeness, they are also alike in other ways. Although effective arguments relies mainly on reason, an emotional appeal can lead powerful reinforcement. Indeed, emotion can win the hearts and help the people who would otherwise passively accept a logical argument but take no action. If writers come across as pleasant, fair-minded, and decent, gaining readers' support is much easier. The image the writer projects is called the ethical appeal. Once you finish argument, you need to get rid of any fallacies. Some of the fallacies are hasty generalization. That's when you base your conclusion with little or no evidence. A non sequitur, which is basing a conclusion on different evidence. Stereotyping, which is attaching one or more characteristics to a group or one or more members. Card stacking presents only part of the evidence. Either or is saying only two options exist, when in reality, many more do. Begging the question. Asserting the truth of some unproved statement. Circular argument is supporting a position by merely rephrasing it. Arguing off the point is ignoring the question. Argument ad hominem is an argument that affects an individual rather than their opinions. Appeal to the crowd plays off irrational fears or prejudice. Guilt by association points out connection between one person or group or another. Post hoc, ergo propter hoc, assumes that since one event came before another, the first caused the second. And faulty analogy, assuming two circumstances or things are similar in all important respects, when in fact they are not. Now that you know all about arguments, here's how to write one. Focusing your question. As you explore your topic, you should be prepared to focus your question. Exploring your topic. You never really start an argument with a blank page. There is always an ongoing conversation about the issue. Before you enter a conversation, it helps to be informed. You can do research by reading, talking to others, or making your own observations. Arguments for different purposes. As you contemplate your position and evidence, consider the purpose of your argument and how it might affect the strategies you choose to employ. Arguments are written for several purposes, each requiring a different approach. Directing arguments to readers. With an argument, as with any essay, purpose and audience are closely linked. For example, imagine that your audience is a group of readers who are neutral or opposed to your position. There is no point in preaching to the converted. Take a little time to analyze these readers so you can tailor your arguments appropriately. Rogerian arguments, named for psychologist Carl Rogers, where you try to show that you understand and respect the opposing views, as well as acknowledge its good points, while still finishing with the conclusion you want. And exploratory argument, writing to share with your reader how you came to your conclusion. The last step in writing an argument is drafting your argument. When you have a good grasp on your positions, reasons, and evidence, and the approach you want to take, you're ready to draft your paper. Once you finish, the only thing left is to revise the argument. This should be your final step, where you make sure everything is in order and you have accomplished your goals. Pause this video now and read the example in the book on page 228. I have left some discussion questions below, so go ahead and test your knowledge and answer them. Feel free to leave a comment below with your answers. I'll leave you with a flowchart I made for writing an argument. There is a much more detailed one on page 237 of your book that I based this one on, but here are the main points. Thank you for your time. I hope you learned a lot.